Good day to you. Today I want to speak to you about the good gift God has given you, invested in you, and also in your child. The promise is this: every good gift and every perfect gift is from above and comes down from the Father of light, with whom there is no variation or shadow of turning. It means this, that God is fair to all. When you were being knitted in your mother's womb, God took from the father's side and the mother's side and gave you a heredity for life. But He also saw what negative qualities are coming, and He gave you a deposit from His bounty, a bonus into your spirit, so that He has already given you the equipment in the gift you need for life to become successful. That is God's intention. You don't have to be a failure. Not only that, whatever was wrong in your father's side or mother's side need not affect you or defeat you. So we are not into the blame game that says my father didn't do this for me or mother did wrong to me. There is in you already God-given gift and adjusting equipment that you can be the best you have to be. That's the meaning of this. And there is no, He doesn't change His mind about you. When God has given you that gift, it has come to you from God. And He being infinite and He being perfect love, He is able to work through that gift with you till the best in you comes out. So never mind the past behavior and the failures. Think of your child also like that, whatever level your child, son or daughter is. God is working, and it's a good gift that has come from above. When we use it, imperfections come, but still God's goodness overrides those imperfections. So don't become a perfectionist trying to do everything 100%, only God is 100%. So here are the gifts that are mentioned here, how they manifest, and in a later talk we will get down to the brain stuff of why you are what you are. But now what you are is what we are going to look at, and how it will operate in your life as a gift of God. So this is how God has given you. According to the grace that everyone has got, God works it out for you. It's a measure of grace and it's a measure of faith. Measure of grace is what God has given. Measure of faith is what you exercise. So whatever gift that you have that produces your livelihood, that's how it is. It's a character nature and a fatherhood ability, and it becomes a livelihood. For instance, there is a nature, there's a father's character of mercy. So those who handle the sick must have this father's character nature, then the ability and the gift manifesting. And the gift will have a grace and gift will have a measure. So your measure may look after and provide for your family. That's fine. Another person might be given a measure to become a chairman in the field of his expertise that provides livelihood for 5,000 people. He's a benefactor. You're a benefactor for your family. He's a benefactor for maybe 2,500 families. God gave the measure. God takes account from each one of us according to that measure. So the first gift that the Bible describes in this passage of scripture from Romans chapter 12 is the gifts differing, and this gift of prophecy, which means seeing what is coming. There are some fields in which you have to see what is coming. So an entrepreneur begins to see that in this field I must make investment. So it's a field that predicts profit. It's a God-given gift. You're not a manager, you're an entrepreneur. There's a risk element. There's speculation. Doctors can't speculate. They must always treat that particular disease according to the drug that is best and researched and founded at that time. But researchers speculate, meaning researchers begin to see this is the limit of knowledge, what is beyond that limit of knowledge. So, it is a God-given gift that is working to see what is coming, or to see what should be there, or to see what must be there, because God has provided every good thing for mankind for all time. You understand that? And you may have heard that this very useful drug aspirin was found first in a plant, and this useful drug that was used for malaria in those days was first found in the cinchona bark. I am just giving you some pictures for you to know that every good gift mankind has got, God had already kept it there. So, the researcher has a prophecy mind, seeing what has not yet happened, seeing what should be happening. That is what prophecy is, seeing what should be happening. It is a speculator's mind. So, when they needed nuclear energy, unfortunately the context came up of how to stop Hitler. Einstein was not for using nuclear energy for war purposes, but because of the danger they thought Hitler was, he managed to convince the President of America at that time. Because Einstein said it, he agreed. But Einstein had already predicted, because he was a speculator, he was seeing prophecy, what others had not seen, that a gram of mass will produce a huge amount of energy. He saw. In fact, at one stage he said, when someone asked, how do you get these things? How do you understand this? He said, I think thoughts after God, because he began to see what others didn't see, and certainly God gets involved in the next frontier of knowledge. So, when knowledge advances, we don't have to become proud and deny God. We can say, thank you God, you had kept knowledge and you have given us the equipment to advance knowledge or discover knowledge. So, all pioneering scientists were Christians, who Sir Isaac Newton, Michael Faraday, Louis Pasteur, Robert Boyle, the list is long. I have written a book in the Sinhala language called Kitudahama and Vidyava. It's available from the Brookside bookshop. And I have written another book called Reasons for Head and Heart, and I give a long list of achieving Christian scientists who worked on the basis knowledge was there to be discovered. And science came to be on the basis that there's an orderly universe, because there's an orderly thinker. So, Sir James Jean said it's a universe of great thought, because he was a mathematician, and he said it's a universe of great thought. How does the universe of great thought comes? Because there's a great thinker. Who is that? God. Now, he's not only God, he's our Father in heaven. We can know him personally. I want to introduce some more books on the field of recovering childhood, parenting, digital use. This is the green book, Recovering Learning and Recovering Childhood. This is the Tamil version. Sinhala one will be soon available. Now, this is Mom, Dad and Me for Mistake Management. This one is also in English, Children, Our Heritage and Our Future. This one is in Sinhala, Let the Children Come to Me, Lama Sampatha Surakimu. Same one is available in Tamil. Now, these books are available at Brookside Bookshop, Vijitayappa, Sarasavi, Prajna, many other bookshops. It's good for you to read as a parent or as a young person, so that we have a cohesive, constructive worldview, which is internally satisfying. If not, we will go after delusions and we will be deceived. So, we are on this gift that helps you to see and think future. Very useful for research, very useful for actuaries, very useful for investment, where to invest, what's happening, watching trends, isn't it? There are fields in which we must watch the trends. So, this is the gift of prophecy. It has a measure. So, always remember, the gift has a measure. It may be applicable in a small proportion or in a large proportion, and don't violate your proportion. This is how, when people are successful with a small shop, they try to take a giant leap. If your shop, a shop owner basically needs a serving nature. There's also gift, it's called the diaconia gift, server. What are people looking for when they go to a shop? To be served quickly, to be served effectively, to serve humbly. And that is a gift. and that gift is called the ministry gift. Here it has the gift of ministry. Now assuredly, gift of ministry has spiritual purpose. At the same time, gift of ministry has secular use, because what God has given us is for spirit, soul and body. What God has given us will serve very well in our livelihood. So there's a host of vocations that depend on efficiency, humility, quickness, and those are the serving gifts. So middle level manager serves the company, and he will gather knowledge and expertise on different parts of how the company works. Now he may feel I am always there, and I know more than my boss. I must start my own business. Of course, God didn't give him to start his own business. Starting his own business needs the headship that God has given, whereas the middle level manager serves the institution well. Now what's the problem? The middle level manager must be appreciated by the boss. Boss can't do without the middle level manager. So God has a design that works perfectly when people acknowledge God and honor each other's gifts. So our culture must be honor each other's gift. So even the chairman must honor the middle level manager in word and deed and in kind. So he must have an adequate salary. Now if the middle level manager feels I am every day doing the same boring thing, I want to do some superb new venture, he will crash. So godliness with contentment is great gain. So what you are is manifesting what God has given you to do. And when you fit it well in the measure, God prospers you. On another day, we will look at what's ticking to make you what you are in your brain. 3, we are going through 7 characteristics. Character abilities that have become livelihoods. The third one is the gift of teaching. That's very easy to understand. Teachers are rigid. Now, a foot ruler is a foot ruler. It has 12 inches, perhaps 30 centimeters. So teachers always teach truth. You can't bend it. Teachers can't become flexible. Problem is this: while we can't be flexible with our subject matter, we have to be flexible in our personality. So when the gift, the character ability God has given us to be used in our profession or vocation must not have a flip side affecting us, such as become rigid and being unteachable in any area of your life because you teach mathematics so well. That does not mean you know to teach everything very well. There are other things you will have to learn from others, even from your wife and sometimes from your child. So more stiff the subject is, more stiff the person you become. More elastic the subject is, more exaggerating you become. So you have to watch what subject you are teaching, because strict subjects make strict people. As you teach, you become like what you teach. And elastic subject makes elastic teachers. So you have to be careful. So the fourth thing is those who act on behalf of others. Who are they? They are trainers. They are human resource people, different from teaching. Teachers say, do this, no other way. They draw the line and say, don't cross the boundary. Very true for teaching, not so for coaching, not so for training. So trainer's mindset is not for truth, but for people. Did you understand that? I'll repeat it. Trainer's mindset is not for truth, but for people. But of course, trainers can't violate truth. So how does it work out? When we are so much pro-people, you can try to bend the truth. That's not good. So you must know the flip side that can come into operation, because we have a fallen nature. So trainers, those who coach human resources people, they are pro-people. But we can't be pro-people to the extent we just let their errors also pass. Teachers will always say, wrong. And pro-people trainers will say, right.